Shown here are just 3 of the participants that we had volunteer to do our experiment. All 3 were given the opportunity to choose something to receive. They could have chosen a granola bar, some money, or they didn't even have to choose anything at all. Here we have our participants watching the same video that was shown before. I wonder if we watch their facial expressions, if we'll be able to see if they saw anything unusual in the video. Let's take a look. This is just a quick glimpse of the questionnaire that we gave to all of our participants. It was interesting to hear all of the different reactions given to each question.
So while you were doing the counting, did you notice anything unusual in the video?
The white shirts were moving a little bit faster than black shirts were, so it was harder to keep up with the counting, but that's all.
Okay. Did you see anything or anyone else besides the 6 players in the video?
Yeah, I saw a gorilla walk through the middle.
Oh, you did see the gorilla.
Yeah.
So we don't have to even do number 5.
No.
While you were doing the counting, did you notice anything unusual in the video?
Yeah, I was wondering why the ones that were wearing the black shirt, why they were going a little slower. I was wondering. And then I also saw, some were passing it and some were dribbling it, so they weren't all just doing one thing. That was, I guess, unusual for me.
Okay, that's okay. Did you see anybody else other than the 6 players?
6 players? No, I didn't see anyone else.
Did you see a gorilla?
There was a gorilla in there?
Yes, there was a gorilla.
I didn't see the gorilla.
Alright, so if
Really?
you want to see the video again, we could show it to you again.
Yeah, sure. I want to see the video.
So while you were doing the counting, did you notice anything unusual on the video?
I noticed that it was really hard to count because there was so much going on, like all the passing, the dribbling, the moving, like people moving from place to place. It was just really hard to focus.
Okay, that's fine. Did you see anybody else other than the 6 players?
No, I think I just noticed the 6 players, the white shirts and the black shirts, but should I have noticed someone else?
So I'm guessing you didn't see the gorilla.
No, a gorilla?
Yeah, there was a gorilla there.
I did not notice that.
Would you like to watch the video again?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm just going to debrief you guys and kind of tell you what it was that we were trying to do here. So the areas of research the experiment focused on were 2 fundamental questions. The first question, to what degree are the details of our visual world perceived and presented? The second, what roles does attention play in this process? You guys okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay. This experiment was a new study concentrating on inattentional blindness. It examined the variables that affect inattentional blindness in a naturalistic and dynamic event. Still good so far?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so the findings of this experiment have replicated, generalized, and extended the surprising result first reported by Neisser. In particular, the experiment showed the following. Approximately half the observers, so you guys, failed to notice an ongoing and highly salient but unexpected event while they are engaged in a primary monitoring task. So for you guys, that was the gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
I think you noticed it, right? And you guys didn't?
I did not know.
Yeah, so over the past few years, several researchers have demonstrated that conscious perception seems to require attention. When attention is diverted to another object or task, observers often fail to perceive an unexpected object, even if it appears at a fixed ratio. Thus, a phenomenon termed, which is what we're trying to do, inattentional blindness.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, take your eyes off the basketballs. Look in the center of the screen. Do you see it now? Inattentional blindness is experienced when a certain object is in the person's fixation. In the study, half of the participants didn't notice any of the unexpected events that took place. Being told to focus on a specific fixation makes the unexpected events less noticeable. Across all conditions, 46% of participants failed to notice the unexpected event, also known as the gorilla. Participants also found it more difficult to notice the gorilla while following actions of the white team, thus creating a p-value less than .002. One may argue that participants who noticed the gorilla may have done so due to losing count of the passes. However, this is unlikely due to the calculation of the R value. Throughout the test, the correlation averaged R equals .15, suggesting that noticing was not strongly correlated to bad counting or not paying attention. It was found that those with ADHD performed better attentionally while engaging in an inattentional blindness task. The effect increases with human age. Some studies suggest that we can detect threatening, unexpected stimuli more easily than non-threatening ones, and some evidence suggests objects associated with reward are noticed more. Failure to perceive the anomalies is attributed to failure to attend to it while engaged in the difficult task of counting the passes. The relationship between what is in one's visual field and perception is based much more on attention than what was previously thought. In reading the research paper written by the two men who conducted the invisible gorilla experiment, Daniel J. Simons and Christopher F. Chabris, one should notice that they mention many different and previous experiments that helped get them to where they need to be to conduct their own. In 1996, Grimes conducted an experiment having to do with scenes in nature and everyday life. Grimes wrote that observers often failed to notice when two people in a photograph exchanged hats or even when they exchanged heads. This is called change blindness. This means that participants will look from one picture to the next and see if they can find any change. The flicker technique is another extended version of Grimes's experiment done by Rensing in 1997. The flicker technique is showing participants two very similar photos on a screen, but in between the two pictures, a blank screen appears. This causes the eye to focus on a black screen, forgetting what specifically was seen before, causing the second picture to look exactly the same as the last, when in reality, the picture changed. There is always so much going on around us that it's hard to imagine how much we actually miss. So remember to try to stay alert. You never know what you might see.